Hello Year 4 and Year 4 parents, thank you very much for watching this video. So we appreciate not everybody could make the information evening last night, so this is just a little rundown of everything that went on there. We're going to be filling you in with the PowerPoint presentation that we did last night, giving all of the same information so that everybody's going to Standon Bowers on the same footing with the same knowledge.
All of the documents and websites we refer to in this presentation will be available on our school website on the Year 4 page.
So we're going from Monday the 14th of March until Wednesday the 16th of March. It's going to be a fantastic 3 days. So let's
the
get on with
agenda
it.
of the presentation. So there'll be a short introduction, followed by what to expect, then what to bring, thinking about communication, logistics, and any final words. Any questions that you have about any aspect of the trip to Standon Bowers, please do not hesitate to email us at homework 9 and homework 8. Thank you very much. Okay, we go on the Monday the 14th of March. We'll be leaving school at 9 a.m, ready to get there for 10:30 to make sure that we are in time for our presentation, our welcome presentation. We come back on Wednesday the 16th of March. We have a farewell presentation at around 2 p.m. and then we'll be coming back home. We're aiming to be back for the end of the school day at 3:20. We understand that this is the first time that a lot of the children are away from their families and away from home for the first time. So we need to make sure that they don't have any worries, that they are feeling excited about the trip. And so hopefully this presentation gives you all of the answers to make sure that they are excited and they have the time of their lives when at Standon Bowers. As you can see on the slide, there is a link to an official taster video. This is a promotional video done by the staff at Standon Bowers to give you a flavour of what to expect whilst on the trip.
So if you've watched that video, you'll see there's a huge range of activities to do. Unfortunately, as Standon Bowers is suitable for teenagers and adults as well, we do not get to do every one of the activities on the video. So we will not be doing BMXing, we will not be doing any water sports such as canoeing or sailing, unfortunately. It doesn't mean that there's any less exciting activities for us, because we're still doing archery, low ropes, we are going climbing on the bouldering wall, and plenty of other activities there. It is going to be a fun-filled, packed 3 days full of adventure. All of the activities are led by trained members of Standon Bowers staff who are absolutely fantastic at what they do. They are brilliant. As well as that, though, we're not just leaving your children with the staff. Each class is broken up into 2 groups, and each one of those groups is going with a member of staff from the school as well as the instructor. I will be going along with Mr. Gillespie, and so will Mrs. Taylor and Miss Norton. All 4 of us will be there for the entire time that your children are. We're going with them on the coach. We'll be there for the entire trip. We'll be there at night. We'll have dormitories next to your children's accommodation, and we'll be there for them to knock up in the middle of the night so they can knock on the door and say, "Mr. Evans, I need this," and we will sort it straight away. We are there for your children through the entire trip. We appreciate it's their first time away from home. As far as accommodation is concerned, we have 3 dormitories available for the children, a boys' dormitory and a girls' dormitory, and then, depending if it is needed, we have a smaller dormitory for anyone who might be struggling to sleep. We will be keeping that as either boys or girls, depending on needs. However, in the past, we've never needed to use it. The children have settled down brilliantly. They're all tired from their activities, and they're excited to be with the friends.
The accommodation will be bunk beds, and we will be provided by Standon Bowers with a single sheet. So it is a pillowcase and a duvet cover that you will need to provide, and this is for a single bed. Please notify us of any bedtime routines you feel we need to be made aware of so that we can settle your children and make sure that they can have a really good night's sleep ready for the next day of full activities and learning.
As part of the time there at Standon Bowers, your children are expected to do some small chores. They're not washing every pot and every pan at the building, but what they will be doing is small things such as hoovering up, cleaning the corridors by just brushing them, maybe tidying up the cloak store, things like that. It's part of the ownership of the experience. It's part of letting them grow up and gain that independence and resilience, and it's taking ownership of that week for themselves. It's a big time for growing up and transition, and it gets them ready to move on to middle school. It's a fantastic time for them, and it's not taking a huge amount of time out of their schedule. It is only a small chunk of time each day. As well as that, your children will all be having meals in a main canteen. We're going to be uploading a menu, and I can tell you from experience, the meals there are fantastic. Your children will not go hungry. It's a full cooked breakfast every morning, a full cooked tea every night, and sandwiches at lunchtime. There's a huge range of options available, and you'll be able to see that on the menu. However, if there are any specific dietary requirements that you are concerned about, please contact us and we can make sure that they are catered for in some way.
Along with the menu, we will also be uploading the dorm plan so you can see exactly where your children will be sleeping in terms of the Standon Bowers. Thank you very much.
So here's the map of Standon Bowers. As we said, the BMX track will not be used, and neither will the high ropes, but we will be using the low ropes course. We will be using inside the climbing wall where there's a bouldering wall. We have our dormitories and an outdoor learning classroom. It's a fantastic space, and as you can see, there's a lot of greenery. It's absolutely fantastic for the children to get out there and enjoy nature and have a brilliant time.
Okay, what to bring? You'll be provided with a kit list, which will have absolutely everything you could possibly need for the children to have the best time possible and be as successful as they possibly can be whilst here at Standon Bowers. Please don't go out of your way to get really expensive items of clothing. All we can definitely say is, though, dress for the weather and dress for the activities. Make sure that they have plenty of clothing because it could be cold around this time of year, and also appropriate footwear because we could be going on lots of muddy, different pathways and different terrain. So make sure that the footwear is definitely able to cope with that type of terrain.
It does say on the kit list about bringing an extra pair of trainers for inside. It says inside shoes. Now, what that's referring to is once shoes are used outside, because it is a muddy area, they are not allowed inside in the corridors. So it's not necessarily thinking of something like slippers. It is a pair of trainers to wear around in the corridors when going for lunch, when going into the learning classrooms, so that they are not tracking mud through, and so that the person whose chore it is to clean the corridors isn't overly difficult.
When it comes to money to be brought onto the trip, we usually say £5, and this is for the tuck shop. However, we are finalising details of what will happen with the tuck shop due to COVID restrictions. We will let you know in due course what to bring. We definitely know that there will be souvenirs that are available to purchase, and a list of the souvenirs and pictures of what they are will be available on the school website for you to browse.
Regarding medication, any medication that your child may need, whether it's for asthma and allergy or just any other condition that regularly occurs or even doesn't regularly occur, but something that may happen on the trip, please let us know. Bring in any medication labelled in a bag along with the medication sheet that will be coming out to you very shortly. We do not expect this to be packed into the children's bags. We have a separate box for all medication that is logged as it comes in and goes out. We need to know when it is used, how frequently it's used, in which doses, and when and why to use it. We need all of that information for health and safety, and all of that will be logged with Entrust and with our school. Miss Norton will be there on the day, make sure any medication is filled in. You do not need to think about things like Calpol, because we will be taking a supply of that ourselves in case there is anything like a sore head when we're there. We are there to look after your children, and your help with that is appreciated. We've talked about labelling the medication. Also, please, with the kit list,
Please
label everything. One pair of black socks looks like every other pair of black socks. Get your kit list, pack your bag with your child, put it in, tick off everything as it goes in so your child knows what they've got, and think about maybe packing a carrier bag for them to put dirty clothes into so they can separate it out afterwards after they've used it.
As you can see on the images on the right, the specialist equipment is sometimes needed. This could be in the form of overalls or helmets. This specialist technical equipment will be provided by Standon Bowers, so there is no need to go out and purchase any specialist equipment yourselves. This will be provided by Standon Bowers. And finally, any forms that are needed to be filled in, be that medical forms or kit lists, they will be given to your children to send home, and there will be versions available on the school website along with the Standon Bowers website under parent help as well.
For communication, we'll be communicating primarily through Twitter. We'll be sending tweets regularly throughout the entire trip, keeping you updated on what your children are doing. We'll be sending you lots of photos too, and we will be sticking to the social media guidelines regarding that. So if your child is not allowed on Twitter, don't worry, we won't be tweeting them just because of it, Standon Bowers. We will be getting in touch with the school in other ways as well. And please do not worry if you do not see a tweet for maybe 2 or 3 hours. Some areas of Standon Bowers, such as when we're on nature walks, might not have the best internet. We will always have a phone service to call in emergencies, but we might not be able to upload a video or a tweet from that location. We will be tweeting when we get back to dormitories at all times, and sometimes during the activities. Mobile phones are for staff. We will be taking them ourselves, and we will always have a communication link to the school, to Mrs. Edgerton, to the office, to Mrs. Rourke. We will be updating about anything, and we'll be getting contact with you in the event of injury. Children are not to bring their own mobile phones or any forms of technology. It is a wireless week. No phones, no tablets, no iWatches, no cameras of any description. We go fully unplugged, and we're enjoying nature and the activities and our friendships for those 3 days. There is plenty to do in Standon Bowers without the technology needed. I'm a huge advocate of technology myself. It is not needed at Standon Bowers. We will be updating the office constantly throughout our trip, and anything that is important needs to be passed on to parents will be disseminated through the office.
Okay, so logistics. We will leave on the coach from school at 9 a.m. We ask that you arrive at around 8:30 to make sure that the children have everything they need and we are able to pack the coach ready for our trip. In terms of coming home, we will have the farewell presentation at around 2 p.m. and then we'll be leaving for school, and we're hoping to get back at around 3:20, the end of the year 4 school day. When it comes to itinerary, we will be arriving on the Monday at around 10:30 to 11:15, and then we will have a welcome presentation. This will then take us into lunch, and then we'll have our first afternoon activity. After the afternoon activity, we will have tea, and then followed by chores. And then after tea, we'll have an evening activity. This will be teacher-led, not led by the Standon Bowers staff. And then finally, after that, we'll have opportunities to socialise and to have a bit of talk, and then we'll be heading for bed. And by that time, the children will be very, very tired.
Very tired.
So then on the next day, which will be the full day that we have on the Tuesday, we'll have breakfast in the morning, followed by a morning activity, then lunch, then the afternoon activity, and then it'll take the same process as the afternoon of Monday. And then finally, on the Wednesday, we'll have a morning where we have breakfast, morning activity, and then lunch, followed by the farewell presentation, and then we will head for home. Fantastic. So now with accommodation. As we said before, we have 3 dormitories, and these will be split into boys and girls, and I cannot stress enough, any bedtime routines you feel we need to be made aware of, please let us know. Please let us know. And finally, any forms to be filled in, these will be available on the website. They will be given to the children to send home. And if you cannot find them there, then go to the Standon Bowers webpage as well, because everything you need to know is under the parent help on their website.
So it's an absolutely fantastic time. It's character building for the kids. It lets them develop even further. They become amazing children when they're there. They're already brilliant. They get even better when they're there. They build that resilience. They build that independence. They build that confidence. We see characteristics in them at Standon Bowers that we never see at school. The determination that they build is absolutely fantastic. It is a wonderful time. It's fantastic for transition, and we're lucky enough that we're going at the same time as Kingsfield and Oxhay. So COVID depending, there might be opportunities for children to meet the children that they will be going to middle school with and develop some friendships ready for moving up. All information that you need is on the Entrust website, which you can click the link to at the bottom of this PowerPoint presentation.
I cannot stress enough the confidence, the independence and the resilience that the children learn from this trip will really, really allow them to fly and to flourish when at their next setting. And also we see a real difference in the children. We see sides of the children that we did not see beforehand. And it's such a character building trip that we absolutely love. With the Entrust website, you will be able to find any risk assessments and insurance that you need clarity on there, any COVID FAQs that you need to make sure that you have there. It's all in there for you. The website is a fantastic resource and a fantastic tool for any questions that you have. So please do go there. On our webpage, on the school website, we will have dorm plans, meal plans and activity plans of all the things that your children will be getting up to.
So If you have any questions, please feel free to email us. So I am homework8@nibsley.sch.staffs.sch.uk. Mr. Gillespie is homework9@nibsley.staffs.sch.uk. We know you've used those email addresses before. Please fire in any questions that you've got. Anything that you think we've missed, we'll send emails out straight away. And if it's something we think, oh, that's a good question that we haven't covered, we will send that information out to everybody. We'll keep everybody updated as time goes on.
Thank you very much for your time, and it's just an amazing trip, an amazing experience for your children, and we cannot wait for them to experience what we have experienced before when leading the trips and when going with the children. Your children are in incredibly safe hands and they'll have the time of their lives.
We can't wait, and we hope that they can't either. And let's bring it on 14th of March.
Yeah.
Okay.
See you later.
See you in a bit. Thank you very much.
Now.